Hey, how are you doing? I'm Bill DeWeese, professional voiceover talent and voiceover career coach. First of all, Happy New Year. I hope 2021 is off to a great start for you. I hope you had a wonderful holiday season. And yeah, it's pretty good, I think, to have 2020 in the rearview mirror. Looking forward to a great upcoming year. I wanted to mention briefly that I've got a very special video coming your way very soon, probably tomorrow, because I am going to be talking later today to one of the biggest network affiliate voices in the U.S. later today, Aaron Bradley. And Aaron's voice can be heard on TV stations, ABC, NBC, CBS, Fox affiliates, coast to coast, from major markets on down to smaller markets. This is his career path, and I am fascinated by it because any work that I've done, whether it be for affiliate or on a national level, have been one-offs. That's not my career. But Aaron has built his career around that. This is what he does for a living. And there's so much that I don't know and I would love to learn. And I'm sure you would as well. So when I talk to Aaron, we'll find out more about not only his background and what he does, but, what does it take to be an affiliate, to be successful as a network affiliate voice. And so I'll be finding all of that information out and posting that video for you, most likely tomorrow, Wednesday, January 6th. So be watching for that interview with Aaron Bradley. It's going to be a good one. So recently I was asked a question from my private coaching group, the VoiceOver Blueprint, and we're having a coaching webinar, and somebody said, well, I've got a script that is just way too long for the time that the client wants it in. So how can I get all that copy and all that audio condensed down into the time frame needed? And somebody responded saying, hey, just use time compression. Well, unfortunately, a lot of people use time compression as their go-to when the audio is too long. And time compression is a function in most DAWs, digital audio workstations, like Adobe Audition or Twisted Wave or Logic or whatever DAW you use, where you can take this amount of audio and you squeeze it down to this amount or whatever the case may be. That's a really bad first move because, well, I'll explain it in the video. What I want to do is I shared this training video for the members of my group, and I grabbed it and I want to share it with you. So I want you to understand why that's not a good idea, but what are some steps that you can take to get this much audio down to this much audio and it still sound great and get the job done and make the client thrilled. So without further ado, here's the video. Check it out at the end if you would. Leave a thumbs up if you like it, or share it with a friend, subscribe to the channel, and don't forget to be watching for my interview with network affiliate voice Aaron Bradley, coming soon, probably tomorrow. Hello, DeWeese members. How are you doing? The other day in one of the coaching webinars, somebody asked a question about what happens if you get a script that has so many words that it makes it almost impossible to get it into the time frame that they've given you. For instance, like 40 seconds of copy to squeeze into a 30-second time frame. Or it could be 20 seconds into a 15-second or sometimes even worse than that. And somebody responded in the comments section and said, well, use time compression. And so often that is what people do. And time compression is a function of Adobe Audition or whatever DAW that you use, where it will look at what you have. And let's say, for instance, if I have here on my screen, I have 21 seconds worth of copy or of audio, 21.4 seconds. I can go in and say, okay, I want this squeezed, time compressed into 20 seconds or 19 seconds. And it will do that. Now, it may get it to time, but the problem is that it uses no discretion in where it pulls out that data. So it's just going to, systematically take out data to squeeze it down, which means you're not preserving the integrity of the audio. And it will sound very chopped up and robotic when it's done. Now, there are some things that you can do that are far more effective in getting it down to time and making it sound good and preserving the integrity of your read as well as the integrity of the audio. And then if you're close, you can add time compression at the end, but never use time compression as a first thing. It's oftentimes a plugin is not the first thing to reach for in a number of different scenarios, but certainly in this scenario. And this is something I learned working in radio for as long as I did. I had to learn how to squeeze 40 seconds of copy into a 30-second time frame. I mean, it's what we did, because especially unless you're working with professional copywriters, here's the problem, is that oftentimes an account executive or salesperson will work with the business owner, and the business owner or the sales rep, account executive, will write the copy. And this is not an indictment against them. I mean, everybody's just doing the best they can. But oftentimes the business owner's thinking is that they're going to get more value. The more words I can squeeze into this 30-second commercial, the lower my cost per unit, the lower cost per word. Therefore, I'm getting more value for my money. And it's just the opposite. It actually detracts and makes it difficult to communicate effectively. And that's why when you listen to national ads, the high-paid ads, typically there's a lot of air, a lot of room to breathe, and there's no rush, because the copywriter understands that the audience needs to process that information, that there needs to be one primary thought, one primary goal, and everything builds around that. And it's hard to do that, and it's hard to communicate emotion and attitude and intent when you're just doing nothing but speed reading. So that's me setting the table here for you. I just want you to kind of understand the scenario here. So if it hasn't happened to you, it will. Now, what I'm going to do here, let me, actually I can just delete this. What I'm going to do is pull up a commercial. This is a commercial I recorded this past month, and it's actually a well-written commercial. It's for a local Subaru dealership in Lancaster, Pennsylvania. But what I'm going to do, well, let me say this. If you were to read this, I can comfortably read this in 28 seconds, which is perfect for a 30-second spot. But what I'm going to do is I want to show you how you can get this down way faster and still, again, preserve the integrity of the read so you can hear it, you can understand it, you can feel the emotion, hopefully, and it won't jack up the audio to where it makes it hard to understand or make it sound robotic. And there's a few steps involved in this, so I'm going to take you through the process. But what I'm going to do, again, this 28 seconds worth of copy, I'm going to try to record in 22 seconds. So the first thing that I do, and let me just start recording, is I'm going to read it slow, with intent and purpose and emotion, just to familiarize myself with it and to understand what the business or the copywriter is trying to communicate. Okay, and then we'll get a time on it, so we'll know where we're starting. Come to Lancaster County Motors Subaru Superstore and lease a 2021 Impreza for just $180. Come to Lancaster County Motors Subaru Superstore and lease a 2021 Impreza for just $187 a month. Jump into a Subaru and you'll jump for joy. Subarus are loaded with features that make everyday driving come to life. Join Lancaster County Motors Subaru for the Subaru Share the Love event. From now until January 4th, for every new Subaru sold or leased, Subaru will donate $250 to a charity of your choice. Hurry to Lancaster County Motors Subaru Superstore, conveniently located on the Manheim Pike. Now, one of the reasons, as I mentioned, for going slow is I want to feel the script. I want to get a sense of what the emotion and attitude is. Okay, so here it is. It came out to 30.9 seconds. Okay, so it's first read 31 seconds. That's fine. I was trying to go slow purposefully. I'm just going to delete that. Step 2, we repeat it again, but go faster. But we want to retain the emotion, all right? Come to Lancaster County Motors Subaru Superstore and lease a 2021 Impreza for just $187 a month. Jump into a Subaru and you'll jump for joy. Subarus are loaded with features that make everyday driving come to life. Join Lancaster County Motors Subaru for the Subaru Share the Love event. From now until January 4th, for every new Subaru sold or leased, Subaru will donate $250 to a charity of your choice. Hurry to Lancaster County Motors Subaru Superstore, conveniently located on the Manheim Pike. Now, I may make a few little, my enunciation might get a little slurred or blurred at times. And if I was doing this for a client, I would go back and clean that all up. For our purposes, I'm not going to take the time to do that. But okay, so I took it from 31 seconds. I think it was close to 31 to 26.3 seconds. All right. So I sped it up. Our goal is to get this down to 22 seconds, which is that's an aggressive goal. We'll see if it can be done, but I'm down to 26.3 and I haven't gone, I picked up the speed a little bit, but I can go faster than that. But don't try to start off going fast. it's better if you ease into it because, again, you'll be connected to the script. You got to be connected, meaning emotion, understanding, intent. Let's try a third read. Come to Lancaster County Motors Subaru Superstore and lease a 2021 Impreza for just $187 a month. Jump into a Subaru and you'll jump for joy. Subarus are loaded with features that make everyday driving come to life. Join Lancaster County Motors Subaru for the Subaru Share the Love event. From now until January 4th, for every new Subaru sold or leased, Subaru will donate $250 to a charity of your choice. Hurry to Lancaster County Motors Subaru Superstore, conveniently located on the Manheim Pike. Now, obviously, some of that wasn't crystal clear. Again, I would go back and just make sure that everything was very crisp and understandable. But for our purposes here, I'm down to 22.8 seconds. Now, I could get a little bit faster if I want to, but for our purposes, for one thing, I don't need to. I can get that easily down from 22.9 to 22 seconds. So let me show you. That's the first step, though. You want to get it down to, maybe you can get it down to speed just doing that. But let's say you still have more room to go. Well, the next step now is I want to go in and take out some of these gaps where there are breaths. Again, if you time compress, what your DAW is going to do is just indiscriminately and randomly, well, I don't know, it's not random, there's an algorithm in place, but it's going to indiscriminately take out data. Imagine it's going to take it out a little bit here, a little bit here, a little bit here. That's not exactly how it would work, but it'd be much smaller segments, but it would just take little data points along the way and then accordionize the whole thing together. Is that a word, accordionize? And it's going to sound robotic and you'll be able to tell. But we've got these lovely gaps in here that are just breaths. I mean, look at that. That's like a quarter of a second, a breath. So what I'm going to do is go through those segments. I'm going to silence them. There'll be music put to the background, so silence will work fine. And I'm going to take out a half to 2/3 of that silence. And that's okay that these will be, we're tightening it up. And you hear this all the time and probably don't even realize it on TV commercials. It's very common to have it where there's no gap at all between lines. What I would avoid, don't overlap the lines, like don't put it in a multi-track and then overlap the lines unless the client asks you to do it. But typically that's a no-go. Again, I'm just taking out breath. I'm just taking out breaths right now. I'm silencing the breath and taking about half to 2/3 of that empty space that it leaves. And then I'll go back and we'll just listen and see what it sounds like. Okay, one more. Store conveniently located on the Manheim Pike. Okay. This is typically only going to happen with radio commercials, sometimes TV, but typically radio and usually, smaller, medium markets, although it happens in larger markets. Okay, I'm down to 22.07 seconds. So, all I have to do is take out a little more here and it'll be down to 22 seconds. I will have met my aggressive goal. And I'm not even done yet. I mean, I can do more. But let's just take a listen and see if it hurt the audio. Come to Lancaster County Motors Subaru Superstore and lease a 2021 Impreza for just $187 a month. Jump into a Subaru and you'll jump for joy. Subarus are loaded with features that make everyday driving come to life. Join Lancaster County Motors Subaru for the Subaru Share the Love event. From now until January 4th, for every new Subaru sold or leased, Subaru will donate $250 to a charity of your choice. Hurry to Lancaster County Motors Subaru Superstore, conveniently located on the Manheim Pike. Okay, I want to tighten this up a little bit here. Hurry to Lancaster County Motors Subaru Superstore, conveniently located on the Manheim Pike. And if I wanted to, I could go through and just shave out a little bit more here. Let's say let's try to get it down to 21. Let's make that our goal now, okay? How low can we go? Now, again, ideally, they're going to give you, like I said, this commercial was written well. And so it gives me comfortably 28 seconds, to read that commercial. And I could even make it go longer if I wanted to really stretch it out. But I'm just giving you an extreme example. Now it's down to 21.9. Okay, I didn't take that much out. But okay, so now this is what I'm down to, but I'm not done. Let's say I need to take out even more time. Well, what I do now is I'm going to start going in and shaving out time out of sounds. Now, what I'm looking for are solid waveforms, which typically come from consonants like T, TH, S, and SH, and Ks too sometimes. But what we're looking for is something that looks like this. See how solid that waveform is? Not something like this, where there's lots of waves. You can see them easily because that requires a more surgical, precise technique, which can be done, but oftentimes doesn't work anyhow. But these are easy to work with. So we're looking for those solid waveforms. So let's say we need to shave out more. So let's go through here. Okay, here's some right here. Now, when I say shave, what I mean is I'm going to take out maybe a little bit here. Instead of taking one big chunk out, I'm going to take little bits, scattered over, spaced out over, time. I'm just shaving. When I'm done with this, we'll go back and listen to it. And I probably won't take the time to do the entire commercial because this is it's pretty tedious, and I think you get the idea. But let me get through some of it, and let's just see how much time I've taken off. See, instead of, again, I'm not going in and taking out that much. I'm just going in and taking out little bits. So it makes it less noticeable, if noticeable at all. When you do this, unless you take out very much, it's not noticeable. And let's just take out a little bit there. Let's take out a little bit there, a little bit there, not much. Take out there. Take a little bit there. Take a little bit there too. And I've developed this approach over time. I used to do, when I first started in voiceover, I did lots of radio ads. And of course I spent almost 25 years working in radio, but I had to learn how to become really good at this. In radio, I wasn't this surgical. I would literally, we would just go through it, yell, scream as fast as we could, boom, 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 we were done. But with the tools that we have now, back in the day, I was working with reel-to-reel tape and razor blades, and, kids don't try that at home, and splicing tape. And I was very proficient. I was very fast with it. But a DAW just makes it so incredibly easy. So how far? See, I'm only halfway through this so far. Wow. There's still more to take out here. So again, I'm not going to do the whole thing. Let me just hit a few more spots. Okay, I'll do this one. Okay, I'm curious to see how long it is. It's down to 21.4. I can get this down to 21. I think. Yeah, I'm pretty sure I can. Yeah, look at all that. See, there's some can be taken out there. Okay, but I did like the first 13 seconds of it. Let's go back and take a listen to it, see how it sounds. Come to Lancaster County Motors Subaru Superstore and lease a 2021 Impreza for just $187 a month. Jump into a Subaru and you'll jump for joy. Subarus are loaded with features that make everyday driving come to life. Join Lancaster County Motors Subaru for the Subaru Share the Love event. From now until January 4th, for every new Subaru sold or leased, Subaru will donate $250 to a charity of your choice. Hurry to Lancaster County Motors Subaru Superstore, conveniently located on the Manheim Pike. So what we did, we took my first read, which was very relaxed, was between 30 and 31 seconds. I'm now down to 21.4, and I can still take out more. Now, that's why you don't start with time compression. Why destroy the audio? Why destroy the sound before you've even used all the other tools at your disposal? Now, if I get this down to 21 seconds and it needs to get to 20, yeah, maybe, I may be forced to look at time compression or something like that. But don't start with time compression. Start slow. Read multiple times, get faster as you go. Once you get a good fast read where you're still connected to the script, expressing emotion, go back, find the pauses, the breaths, silence those, shorten those gaps. You could even sometimes take it all out and it will still sound pretty good. And then if you need more, then go back and look for those solid waveforms, the T's, THs, SSHs, Ks, and you can, again, shave out a little more audio there. And how about that? 21 and a half seconds. That's pretty surprising. And we could go even more if we needed to. So hopefully that is something you can add to your bag of tricks. Practice it, but when you get stuck in a situation where you're like, oh my gosh, I can never get it down to that time. Well, now maybe you can. At least you have a shot at getting closer than you would have otherwise. So hope you guys found that helpful. Thanks.